Adam Hill sponsors Bellew versus Haye 2 on Sky Sports Box Office.
James Holder, IFL TV, MTK Global. With me, I've got Johnny Nelson. We're here today. We just witnessed Tony Bellew's emphatic destruction of David Haye. Can you put into your own words what we just witnessed?
You know what? I think Tony's like, he predicted how this fight would go. I think he should. I think again, David Haye will probably announce his retirement in a couple of days. Tony was a better technical fighter, and he knows the game mentally, physically, historically. He got the job done. He showed more power in this fight than he did in the first fight, and it was calm, pause. David came in and as an offensive boxer, thinking he could put the pressure on Tony and actually probably work more in his favour. And when the second he was trying to exchange, that's when Tony's power total. How many times did he have? 3 times?
3 times.
Oh, outstanding.
How much credit should we attach to the victory of Tony Bellew, considering
now you've
David
got to
Haye
give him
said
maximum
he was
credit.
Fully fit coming into
you've got to
this?
give him maximum credit, because even he probably didn't get full credit for the first time he beat him because of the injury. Yeah. But now, David, you said he was in top shape, and he got the job done. You can't say he was injured or anything. He was injured after Tony hurt him, and so Tony got the job done. And again, you just think, wow, you know what? Everybody has their bogeyman, and he is David's bogeyman every day of the week. And Tony's the kind of guy where you can't nail this guy down to get rid of him. You've got to cut his head and legs off. And Tony's got that kind of fight in him.
Will you expect David Haye to announce a decision?
Without a doubt, I think. Don't not be surprised. We will not see David Haye in the ring again as a fighter. It won't happen. I'll be very, very surprised. But on top of that, don't be surprised if Tony Bellew said, "I've done." It's not there for me. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
The Alexander Usyk fight, Tony Bellew's been very vocal about. We know he's got.
Yeah, I understand that, but the thing is, Tony's a superstar fighter now. He wants the big fights. He's world champion already. So therefore he wants big fights. Andre Ward, that might come off. You might see that, but I honestly don't think Tony. If that didn't come off, I don't think we'll see Tony again.
Is he box office fight now, Tony Bellew?
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is. All right. All we talked about for the last 14 months was Tony and David Haye. He got the job done. He's box office. Now Tony's thinking. Now Tony's got to think. Well, how much do I want? Financially, he's secure. He's all right. He loves the sport. He understands it. He's got his faculties intact. He's a great analyst of our sport. So for me, I just think you've done it, and I'm quite sure Tony is considering that and weighing up the options as well.
Yeah. What do you think David Haye will be feeling right now? He's
absolutely,
such a proud man. He's
absolutely
such a
gutted. Absolutely gutted. And that's why in the ring he didn't say I've retired, because Tony said he'd do that. And absolutely gutted.
Do you think it was killing him to have played the humble speech?
Of course. That's why he stayed and hung about. He had to play humble and hung about for the press to give them an interview where usually the press are chasing David. That's how it was.
Dylan White, very vocal after the fight, insisting that if David Haye's
looking
for a fight, why not?
It's not going to. Dylan White won't get a look in. It's too dangerous. He's too dangerous, or the reward isn't high enough. And Dylan's in that position where people are thinking, well, he's in a who needs him club. They're going to avoid him like the plague. And even though he's rightfully put himself in a position to fight for the world title, he's a dangerous handful, and that's a problem.
How pleased do you think Eddie Hearn is at this?
Oh my God, Eddie was almost speechless ringside, and that's not like Eddie Hearn. So I gotta say, it's a good night. It's sad because they're both my friends.
I get that.
It's a good night, and it's hard to give an opinion without upsetting somebody, but it's just how it is. It was a good night.
Electric atmosphere as well.
Unbelievable atmosphere. I turned around and thought, wow, this is mad. It was a good night.
It was a good, fun fight. Do you think it delivered for box office for the fans?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. I think this was more exciting than the last one.
Yeah.
The last one was a story. This was exciting. It was a good fight. Good night.
I enjoyed it. Just a quick word on the undercard. Joe Joyce picking up the Commonwealth title against Norman
Joe Joyce got the job done.
Got
the job done. Joe Joyce, again, he's still full professional fighter. He beat up an experienced fighter. Joe Joyce has got that, but now the problem is Joe Joyce has got to pick up experience at a higher level, which is going to be hard. But he's a strong young unit, so therefore I think it'll be a bit easy for him. John Ryder.
Wow! Everybody's second favourite fighter.
Yeah, man.
What did you make of
John Ryder? Well deserved. Cox again. He was hit, and he didn't know what had happened. He came to our presentation spot, stood there waiting to do an interview as though he'd won. After the fight, and we're like, everybody's saying, what's he doing here? So the floor manager said, yo, we don't need you. And he's like, what do you mean?
That shot right on the top of the head.
Right top of the head. Right top of the head.
James Tennyson shocking Martin Ward today to capture the EBU title.
Again, Martin Ward, I thought he was brilliant first 2 rounds. I thought, this guy's on fire, doubling the shots to the body. Good power shots in. Tennyson stuck it out, came through, roughed him up, and he did the job, showed the power, and closed the show. And I think it was a bit of an upsetting time for Eddie, because Eddie thought his man had won this fight. Wicked night.
Decent card all round.
Good card. Good night as
Johnny
well.
Nelson, thank
Bless.
you very much for your time today. Always a great pleasure, sir.
Bless my brother.
I'll catch you soon. Thank
Every
you.
day of the week.
William Hill sponsors Bellew versus Haye 2 on Sky Sports Box Office.